Good morning, everybody. Wait for some ladies to jump on here. Say hi to me. Hopefully some will get on here in just a moment. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Hi, Sister Janice. Good to see you this morning. Good morning, Sarah. Hi, Sister Lisa. How are you this morning? Hi, Sister Tanya. Good to see you ladies on here. My glasses. Okay. Hi, Nicole. How's it going this morning? Hi, Sister Vivian. Good to see you yesterday for a moment. Hi, Sister Tina. Hi, Sister Barbie. Hi, Mary. Hi, Destiny. It's good to be starting off my morning with you ladies this morning. Anybody have anything exciting planned this morning or later today? There's not a whole lot of places we can go, so probably not. Well, I'll go ahead and get started here. Looks like there's several more that are going to be jumping on. Good morning, Melissa. Hi, Rachel. Let's see. Well, good morning, ladies. I'm really excited to be on here this morning. I miss you all so much, and I mean so much. You are my friends, every single one of you. You're my people, the ones I look forward to seeing every single weekend. And I don't think that I will ever take for granted again in my lifetime getting a hug from all of you, or even just a smile from you all every Sunday. I am really missing that right about now. I think it's been about 4 weeks since we've been able to have church and see each other. So I am really missing all of you. And so that's why I wanted to come on here this morning and just kind of have some time to share with you all, to chat with you. And so I do have a message this morning, and we'll get into that later, but I just want to chat for a little bit with you all this morning and just share some things with you all. So kind of something fun. Have any of you ever been to a favorite things party? I have heard about them, and I've always wanted to do one, but I haven't done one. So I thought we could do kind of a virtual favorite things party this morning. And we won't be able to like actually share our favorite things, actually give them to each other, but we can share what some of our favorite things are with each other on here. And so I'm going to share some of my favorite things this morning, and I would like for all of you to share some of your favorite things in the comments. So if you want to go and grab something and take a picture of it and put it in the comments, I don't think I'll be able to see it on the live feed, but I'll go back later and look at them all, and the ladies that are on the live feed will be able to see it, or just describe something that is one of your favorite things. So I'm gonna start with what's in your coffee cup this morning. Do you have something in your coffee cup this morning? So I'm gonna start with mine. So these are some of my favorite things. So first of all, this is my favorite coffee cup. My mom got me this for Christmas this past year. I'm trying to show the whole thing without spilling my coffee. And I just love this cup because it has some of my favorite memories on it, and definitely my two favorite people in the world all over it. So this is my favorite coffee cup. So that's one of my favorite things. In the coffee cup, I have one of my favorite coffees, which is Caribou Coffee. Do you guys remember when there used to be a Caribou Coffee in Rockford? I do, because I loved it. And it's one of my favorite coffees. So I actually bought some of the K-Cups at Target yesterday, and that's what I'm drinking this morning. Inside my coffee, I have my favorite creamer, which is hazelnut. And it's sugar-free because, you know, cutbacks. Has anybody heard that the 19 in COVID-19 stands for the 19 pounds we're all going to gain from being in our house for this long? Yeah, I don't want to do that. So, yeah, sugar-free coffee creamer because cutbacks. So a great friend of mine, who I know is a great friend to many of you, and she's on here this morning, she introduced me to hazelnut creamer. We were at ladies' conference, and she went down to get a cup of coffee from the breakfast area and brought me one back. I took a sip of it and instantly said, how is this so delicious? And from this point on, I have loved hazelnut creamer. Can anyone guess who that lady might be? I'll give you a guess, and I'm going to read what some of you are commenting. Let's see. Barbie says coffee with cream and stevia. Janice says coffee. Kelly says instant hazelnut coffee. Melissa, coffee with cream. Peggy, I have a coffee cup with my grandkids on it. I just like coffee with cream. Tanya, I have decaf with Italian sweet cream creamer. Yum. Melissa, black rifle coffee with French vanilla creamer. Mary put a smile face because she knows who the person is. Jeannie says it's Mary. Tanya says it's Mary. Nicole says it's Mary. Janice says it's Mary. You would be correct. Everyone must know that Mary likes hazelnut creamer. So she is the one that introduced me to that, and it's been my favorite since. Destiny says cold brew with Italian cream. That sounds really good, Destiny. I love cold brew coffee. Barbie says, I make my own creamer, white chocolate creamer. Yum. Nicole says, the coffee aficionado. Oh, Mary, right? Sarah says, my entire Keurig. Vivian, coffee with cream. That was good coffee. Mary, that was really good coffee. I tried to find some of that coffee, and it was really expensive, so I didn't end up buying any. Okay. So that's one of my favorite things is you saw my coffee cup with all my pictures of my family on it, and Caribou coffee with hazelnut cream. So keep commenting your favorite things as well. So another one of my favorite things is Bath and Body Works candles. I'm going to light one right now. This is, I don't know if you can see it, watermelon lemonade. And I know Bath and Body Works candles can be a little bit pricey, but they are worth every penny because they are the best smelling candles and they last the longest. But never pay full price. Always get a coupon or wait for a sale or something like that. We will wait for what they have, like their candle days. So I got my candle lit here. We will wait for when they have like their candle days and they go on sale, and we'll stock up. My husband likes to light them in his office at work, and it smells up, the whole church smells good. But their candles smell so good, and like I can light one for a little while in the house and then I'll leave and come back somewhere, and when I walk in the house it still smells like the candle, and a lot of times I'll be tricked and think that I left the candle on, and I'll go running and look to make sure that I didn't, but that's how good they smell. So they keep your house smelling good for a long time. So that's one of my favorite things. And also burning this watermelon lemonade makes me think of summer and makes me think that the weather is just a little bit nicer than it actually is right now. The next one, and keep commenting your favorite things, ladies, so that we can all read it. I'm going to go back here and see what other people have said. Let's see here. Okay, Rachel said, cinnamon almond milk macchiato with extra caramel. Yum. Tina said, coconut caramel mocha. Kelly said, Rachel, that sounds amazing. It does. Sarah said, vanilla caramel creamer. Rachel said, it's so good. Nicole says, around Christmas, I like sugar-free peppermint syrup with a little heavy cream in my coffee. I like peppermint creamer around Christmas as well. Tina says, I love candles and warmers. Rachel said, that's her Starbucks order. Mary said, they are amazing candles. Okay. All right, so the next one of my favorite things, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of the light, but I'll try, is this chapstick. It is, maybe if I hold it back, cotton candy chapstick. It's amazing. I love it. I love cotton candy or anything cotton candy flavored, so I really like it. I found it in the checkout line at Walmart on one of my trips to get essential items, and I was super excited. As you can tell, it doesn't take a whole lot to make me happy, which is a good thing. Let's see what some of you guys said. Kelly said, I'm in desperate need of more candles / wax melts. Most stores have gone to only have a couple wax melts in stock and they stink. Yeah, stinky candles, no good. Alyssa, oh, I'm totally stopping to get Starbucks today. I'm a chai tea latte girl. Those are good too. Ashley Attilio says French vanilla creamer for coffee or caramel cappuccino. Mary said, anything Pioneer Woman is my favorite, but the knives are definitely #1. Oh, wow. Nice, Mary. I have a lot of Pioneer Woman stuff as well, but I don't have the knives. But I love Pioneer Woman as well. She is amazing, and someday I want to be able to go to her mercantile and also tour her lodge where she does her shows and things. We were actually supposed to take a trip to Dallas in March, and we weren't able to because of COVID, and we were going to go through Oklahoma and stop there, so I know that I'll get to do it at some point, so I can't wait for whenever that will be. Veronica Flores says white chocolate mocha creamer. Hetty Maynard, I use a diffuser, rosemary and lemon oil, fresh clean smell. Tanya, some of my favorite things are my grandbabies, my kids, kids-in-laws, candles, bath bombs, and my heated throw. Melissa Roy says, Kelly, I have some. Do you want a pack? How nice, Melissa. That is super sweet of you. Jeannie, I don't care for flavored chapstick, but I do like chapstick in my purse, nightstand, pockets. LOL. Sarah says, my EOS lip balm, sweet mint, my new favorite. I like that one too, Sarah. Tanya, oh, and my BFF, Mary. Rachel, all of my cute notebooks, I get them from Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. Destiny, I love organization things, notebooks, and fuzzy blankets. Kisha likes Irish cream. Let's see. Janie loves notebooks and journals as well. Kelly, one of my favorite childhood things was the dinosaur oatmeal where the eggs hatch as it gets hot. I say this because I bought it for my children this week, hoping they would share the feelings, but no. So I will be eating dinosaur oatmeal alone. That's awesome, Kelly. I love that. Rachel, I love house decor. Barbie, I love to bake and decorate cookies. It's a de-stressor for me, and making stencils. Vivian, I love collecting journals. Okay, awesome, ladies. Thanks for sharing some of your favorite things. Keep sharing them. I've just got a couple more. So on the same trip that I found the chapstick at Walmart, I about gave my husband a heart attack in the middle of Walmart because I screamed a little bit because I had been wanting to try this item because I had heard about it, and that is Diet Dr. Pepper Cream Soda. It's become one of my favorite things, and currently I'm out, so I need to make an essentials trip to Walmart. I tried yesterday, but there was a huge line to get into Walmart, and I'm not much for waiting on lines, so I ran over to Target, and they didn't have it. Sad face. Okay, so that's another one of my favorite things. If you haven't tried it yet, they have regular too, so regular and diet. Dr. Pepper Cream Soda, so good. Another one of my favorite things are coffee nut M&Ms. They're so good. Has anyone tried them? I don't get them very often, and they are kind of hard to find, which is probably a good thing, because you know, with quarantine and gaining that COVID-19, we don't need those, but they're so good. I would recommend that you try coffee nut M&Ms if you had not tried them. Let's see, go back here. Okay, Ashley Attilio says, Kelly, I remember those. I would definitely eat those with you and enjoy it. Tina says, favorite thing is after I clean my home, light the candles, and turn on the fireplace and just sit with tea or coffee. That sounds nice, Sister Tina. Oh, and grandbaby time. Rose says, I think my grandkids. Rachel, candles, I won't go a day without lighting it. Peg, I love to cook, especially when the kids are here for holiday or just family dinner. Yes, those are nice times. Sister Rose says family dinner. Nicole says, I love eucalyptus candles and my new favorite, lavender Mrs. Meyer's cleaners. I love Mrs. Meyer's cleaners. My favorite ones are some of the seasonal ones that aren't around all the time, like the peppermint and the apple cider. Those are my favorite Mrs. Meyer's cleaners. Melissa Royce, I like chocolate covered espresso beans. Yum. Mary says, Aldi used to carry chocolate-covered coffee beans. So yummy. Kelly, I like too many scents to list, but I do not like the lavender or rose scents. I'm with you, Kelly. I'm not a floral scented person. I like usually fruity smells or seasonal scents like Christmas scents or fall scents. Melissa says Pepsi. Hi, Abby. And Abby says, I like orange clove, apple cider, and peony. Those all sound good. Okay, so two more of my favorite things, and then we are going to move on to something else. And you ladies, keep commenting with your favorite things. If I don't go back and read them now, I will go back and read them later and comment to you. And if you want to take a picture of your favorite mug and post it or anything, I'll go back and look at those later, and all the ladies can enjoy them on this post. So another one of my favorite things that I've been having for lunch this last week. So I had some salad that I needed to eat up before it went bad. So I was looking around the fridge, trying to think how could I make this more interesting than just lettuce and dressing. So I was looking around and I saw a bottle of French dressing in the bottom of the door, and I thought, well, that sounds good. I haven't had French dressing for a while. I usually eat the Olive Garden dressing. And then I thought, I think I'll put some green olives on that, and I wonder how it would taste with cottage cheese. It was so good. So I have eaten that 4 times for lunch this past week, and I'm pretty much, most people say a creature of habit, but I like to call it routine because that sounds better. I do well with schedule and routine. For those of you that don't know me that well, I am a very regimented person. I thrive on a schedule. So eating the same thing every day doesn't bother me at all. So like I said, I have had that salad 4 times this week, and I'll probably have it again until the salad and things are gone. And then one more thing that Peyton and I actually tried last night that was really good. We got some grapes at the store, and I had seen this recipe where you just you wash the grapes and you get them wet, and then you just roll the grapes in. Well, you get a packet of instant Jello that you would like make into Jello, so like the packet that's like the powder, and you roll the wet grapes in the Jello powder. And if you've ever tasted Jello powder before you actually make it, it's pretty sour. And so you roll the grapes in the powder, and then you stick them in the freezer for about an hour, and they get like really cold and crispy. And they're called Sour Patch grapes. And so you have that sour on the outside of them, and then you bite into the grape, and it's sweet. So it is kind of like a Sour Patch Kid, where first it's sour and then it's sweet, and they're really good. So I would recommend that recipe. You can use regular Jello or sugar-free Jello, either one works the same. So I'm going to go back and read some of your favorite things. Oh, you guys have been commenting a lot. Yay. Okay. Veronica says, my all-time favorite chapstick, Tea Tree Lip Care. I get it from Great Clips when I take my boys for their haircuts. Thank God I stocked up when I got their haircut before all this. Nicole says, I'm not usually a flowery kind of smell either, but this is different. I think she's talking about the lavender Mrs. Myers. Sarah says, some of my favorite things. I love my baby Tio, fuzzy socks, candles, fruity, coffee, right now in a health kick, so broccoli and cheese cauliflower rice is all I want to eat. I've been trying to eat really healthy too, Sarah. Lots of fruit and lots of vegetables. Sarah said, Mountain Dew, but haven't had any. Bernice Giles says, Trinta black iced tea, no liquid cane with 4 raw sugars on top. Don't burn candles much. Jeannie says, my most favorite is my family. Mine too, Sister Jeannie. Is it weird that I'm not into candles? No, it's not, Veronica. Tina, unsweetened peach green tea from Starbucks. That sounds good. Kelly, I love Mrs. Myers cleaners, the apple, peppermint, and a green one. I don't remember the name. Basil or sage. Sister McKay, Deborah McKay, chocolate, jigsaw puzzles, and Bible journaling. Those all sound awesome, Sister McKay. Sister Rose said, I love banana. Jeannie says, yummy. I'm thinking to my salad, right? Sarah says, I miss you all. We miss you too, Sarah. Mary says, I love cottage cheese on my salad. I had never tried it before this, Mary, and I kind of thought that seemed gross, but for some reason it sounded good to me that day, and it was really good. Destiny says she loves the sage one. It must be the Mrs. Myers cleaner. Barbie says, I took a picture of my favorite mug. I can't figure out how to post it. Okay, it's an Ohio State mug my mom and dad gave me for my birthday. Jeannie says, a lady here at work puts French dressing on her baked potato. I don't know about that. Kelly, that sounds gross. Mary says, that sounds good. Veronica, cottage cheese with Doritos is so good. That sounds good. Rachel says, cottage cheese with red grapes is a great combination. I like cottage cheese with my fruit too, Rachel. Rachel Whitehorn, we used to do that on pineapple when I worked at Peterson Meadows. I really like cottage cheese with pineapple. Tanya, I had some meatballs with mixed veggies and a hard-boiled egg. It was so yummy. That is an interesting combination, but I bet it was good. Okay, Sister Peg says, I like a loaded salad. I like Brats, olives, blueberries, and sometimes cottage cheese. Always light raspberry walnut vinaigrette. Sarah, sounds good. Have to try it with the boys. Rachel Kaler, I like A1 on my baked potato and ketchup on my mashed potatoes, especially with meatloaf. Tanya, oh, I love Pizza Ranch's salad bar. I like their salad bar too. It's good. Veronica, I'm going to go get grapes now. My Juju will love that. It's really good. Make sure to get a big pack of the Jell-O though, because we just got a small one and it kind of gets like wet and it didn't go very far on the grapes. I would say it maybe did like a cup of grapes, and so those went really quickly. We're gonna have to get some more sugar-free Jell-O. Rachel said we just do it with sugar. That would be good too, but you gotta try it, Rachel, with the Jell-O. Shell says I love mole that Sister Martina Santa Cruz makes. So yummy. Sister Rose says pizza. Sounds good. Rachel from Janice. Melissa, I love family days spent in the pool and nights spent playing board games. That sounds amazing right now. That would be great. Kelly, I like eating fruits and veggies, but as Ellie says, bread is life. True, Kelly. Veronica, now I'm getting hungry making a list. Everyone's going to be making a grocery list during this. That's okay. Melissa, I'm with Ellie. Barbie, post. I don't think, okay. So post, if you have pictures that you want to post, post them at the end when this is over. Tanya, oh, and I love all you ladies and miss you like crazy. We miss you too, Sister Tanya. Okay, let's see. Sister Janice likes word search and fill in puzzle books and jigsaw puzzles. Peg says, miss all of you too. Shell says, I had cottage cheese with peaches. That sounds good. Okay, I think we're almost at the end of the comments. Veronica, I love ketchup with my pizza. Ooh, sorry. I don't like ketchup, so that does not sound good to me. Peggy, I'm hoping to finish my Noah's Ark puzzle this week. Might have to get another. Filled some time for right now. Make sure to take a picture, Sister Peg, of that finished puzzle for us. Abby says, I like a grilled cheese for lunch or subs. Most of the time I eat leftovers from dinner. Cowboy caviar that Ashley makes is delicious. I miss the sunshine. I love cowboy caviar, Abby. That is amazing. I need to make that. Okay. All right. So let's move on from our favorite things. And I have one more question for you ladies before I start the message portion. And I don't even know. How long have we been on here? It doesn't tell me. So can somebody tell me how long we've been on here? Because I don't want to take up the whole day. Well, oh, I can see what time it is on my iPad. It's 9:30. So we've been on for 30 minutes. Okay, so let's get going here. So one more thing real quick. I want to know from you ladies. How have you been coping during this stay-at-home order? What are some things that you have been doing that make you feel better? I know it was disappointing for us to hear that the stay-at-home, and there might be, maybe it wasn't disappointing for some of you. Maybe you thought it's worth it, we need to do this. But regardless, it's hard on all of us, whether you think that they should have extended it or not. So what have you been doing to cope during this time? And what are some things that you've been doing that make you feel better? So one of the things that we've been doing is when the weather's nice, I don't know if it's going to be very nice today, and even if it's a little chilly, we just, put sweatshirts on and stuff, but we've been taking a lot of bike rides and walks, and it's something that I look forward to every day. Just getting out of the house, being able to be outside. I love to be outside, especially when it's nice out. So what are some things that you all have been doing that just helps you? That's something maybe that you to look forward to. Abby says organizing, taking walks when the weather is good, trying to enjoy our time together, lots of family activities. That sounds awesome, Abby. Mary says making face masks for people and helping Rod with the remodel. That's awesome, Mary. I think that one of the greatest things that we can do during this time is help somebody else, is do something for someone else. Missy says creating new Cricut designs. That's awesome, Missy. I've been working on my Cricut quite a bit, trying to help Peyton do some fundraising for SFC. So that's been occupying a lot of my time. Tanya says all of the things that the church has been doing, for example, devotions, online service, FaceTiming, and still working. I'm still working as well, Sister Tanya. Peg, I read lots of Bible plans, my Bible study, prayer plans, and learning. Kelly says, locking my children in the doghouse. Good one, Kelly. Okay. Sister Tina says, Vivi and I started meeting in our prayer closets at 6 a.m. in our own homes, but together. That is awesome. Mary says, we went on a drive last weekend and used an app that told us which way to go. It was fun. Kids loved it. That sounds like fun. Rachel says, I honestly love being home. I've been organizing the house, and this weekend I'm ripping down wallpaper. We also got bikes. I don't mind being home too, Rachel. But there are some days that it's like I just want to get out for a little bit. So riding those bikes and walking has really helped. Destiny says, I have been organizing and deep cleaning everything and journaling a lot. Games with family and FaceTiming my boyfriend. Aw. Peg, I am able to walk again since I twisted my knee. Love to walk. Sister Galindo, we practice a lot of hairdos with my daughters. That's awesome. Kelly said, I'm just kidding, taking my children on bike rides. I have loved watching them get better and go further on their bikes each day. I need to get a bike. Sister Pingle, pricing store items. Melissa, cooking, playing dominoes and pool. Rachel Whitehorn, trying new recipes. Alyssa Simmons, still working, organizing, listening to worship music, and today going to Starbucks and going for a drive while running an errand for my work. That sounds awesome, Alyssa. Jeannie, reading my Bible and talking with my kids and still working 2 jobs. Veronica, we have been having lots of bonfires and cooking out. That sounds like a lot of fun. We did a fire a couple weeks ago when it was a little bit nicer out. Tanya, reaching out to others to help encourage them via Messenger and mailing out notes to people. That's great, Sister Tanya. I've been trying to do that as well, sending cards to people, just trying to be an encouragement. And that is, I think, one of the best ways that we can get through this is to just be an encouragement to each other. Sarah says, it's hard for our family. We are usually on the go type of family. But in honesty, I think this isn't a punishment, but will help restore a lot of families. I agree with that, Sarah. We are a go, go, go family as well. We are usually very busy people, and this has slowed us down a lot. And I think you're right that this time of just slowing down is helping a lot of families. Barbie, playing Facebook games, some baking, do some cleaning and organizing, love the nightly devotionals, working about 3 days a week. Sister Janice, reading Bible and devotions, still working down to 20 hours a week. Sister Vivian, walking and going for drives after work to get out with Mike. That is nice. Abby, we've also drove around our neighborhood, waving to friends and searching for hearts. Showed my kids the house my mom grew up in too. That is awesome. Shell, watching online services, praying, reading the word, and talking to friends, and cooking and eating a lot. Sister Vivian, organizing the basement. Sarah, it's been a little crazy some days. The boys don't like it much, but a lot of outside times in the backyard. We are trying to be healthy as a family, and I started reading and studying with Shay. That is awesome. Rachel, reading books, the Bible, guarding the channels of the supernatural, the life you've always wanted, cleaning, cooking, and FaceTime with Joshua. So thankful for these blessings. Yes, I am so thankful for technology during this time. Even though we can't be together, we can be here doing this right now, having conversation with each other, and I think that's awesome. Peg, cleaned out the closet to go once a week for essentials. Shell, sending notes and cards to and clean. Sarah, she's still working every day. Janice says she loves the family devotions. Peg says she's been selling on eBay. Rachel, Zoom chats and prayer with the youth in Greece. That's awesome, Rachel. Kelly says, I have been reading a whole lot more too. This week I started reading The Girl in the Dress with Harmony. That's awesome, Kelly. She loves it. She has so many questions about modesty already at the age of 6. That's amazing, Kelly. Veronica, those of you that go to Starbucks, the one on Alpine and Harrison allows you to use the mobile app. You order in the app and pick up at the door with no contact, much faster than the drive-thru. Thank you for the tip, Veronica. Peg says, love all the church. Jennifer says, still working, organizing, taking walks, trying new recipes, and daily devotions. Awesome, Jennifer. Those are all awesome ways that we can each cope with this stay-at-home order and just get through this time together. And maybe somebody commented something that you hadn't thought of, and so that will be a help to you today. Okay, so I am going to get into the word that I feel like the Lord wanted me to speak today. I had something else planned, so maybe I'll do that next time. But I just kept going back to this. This was what I originally had thought to talk about, but I was going to do something else. But this morning when I got up, I just had felt to go back to this. And so it's a little bit like a revival rerun like the pastors have done, only I'm doing it in person. But I spoke about this at one of our ladies' conferences 3 years ago. And the title of it is Living a Fearless Life. And I just think it is timely for what we are going through right now. There's so many people that are struggling. And so I just really felt to share this with you all this morning. And what I had that I was going to speak about, I'll save that for a different time. So living a fearless life. I'm going to read from Matthew 14:22 through 32. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus fetched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. I think a couple more jumped on here. All right. And so what I want to talk about this morning is fear, because sometimes you have to know what you're dealing with before you can overcome it. On January 9th, I was to travel down to Effingham for a district ladies meeting. There we talk about the district ladies conference that's coming up in the fall and the ladies tea at camp and other business concerning the district ladies committee. The few days before that, we had gotten quite a bit of snow, and it just seemed like it wasn't stopping anytime soon. I kept watching the weather, and the weather people would say, okay, it's supposed to stop around 3, and then it was 6, and then it was midnight. Peyton was supposed to ride the bus with his school for a basketball game that was 2 hours away the same day. So not only was I worrying about myself driving 4 hours away, but I was worried about him being 2 hours away from home when I was that far away from home. Anthony had offered many times to drive me, and my mom had offered to get Peyton to school so that he could. I refused because I said I didn't want us both to be that far away from home when he was away on the bus. It didn't stop snowing at any of the times that the meteorologist had said that it would. In fact, it continued to snow all night and was still snowing when I had to leave at 5 a.m. to make sure I was there when my meeting started at 9:30. I wrestled all night long being anxious, and my poor husband was like, "What do you want me to do?" And you ladies know how sometimes men, they just don't know what to do with all those extra emotions that we have. And I mean, let's face it, sometimes I get on my own nerves. And don't laugh, because I know you ladies do as well, right? Am I right? I just knew that I felt fear over the situation, and I didn't even really know why. I barely slept the night before and would get up often to look outside and to see if it looked better out. I was hoping the meeting would get canceled. I wrestled with it all night long until God spoke to me and asked, "Why are you so fearful? Isn't your ladies' conference coming up this year entitled Fearless? You are a fearless woman." So I got myself up at 4 a.m. and got ready and went. All the way there and all the way home, God was speaking to me this message that I would share at ladies' conference that year. Sometimes God just wants to get us alone so that we have no distractions and He can really speak to us. We live in a scary world, am I right? I read this meme that said, it kind of seems like we're living in a world that an 8-year-old boy made up the story. First, there was this scary virus. Then they closed down all the schools. And then there was no toilet paper. And then it snowed. That does sound like a story that an 8-year-old boy made up. But it's true. But seriously, everywhere we turn, we're hearing of sickness and death. And if that's not enough, many people have lost their jobs or may be in jeopardy of losing their jobs, and they're left wondering how to care for their own family. Let me tell you that I believe before we're done here this morning that you can be touched and set free from the chains of fear that are binding you now and maybe have bound you for so long. You see, maybe you're watching this morning and fear isn't new for you. This thing that's going on and everyone's so fearful, this isn't new for you. This is just something else that's been thrown at you, and it's compounding the fear that you already struggled with. Jesus is here, and He wants to do it for you. This is a very scary and a real thing that's going on, but we cannot live our lives letting fear control who we are, where we go, what we do, and who we witness to. Because I believe that this is the greatest hour for the church. A time like no other in our lifetime, where people are open and they are searching for something different. And if you've been filled with the Holy Ghost, you have what they are searching for. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Fear tells you that you aren't good enough. It tells you that you're not strong enough. Fear tells you that you're not worthy and you aren't loved. It tells you that you're not beautiful and that you'll never be enough. Fear tells you that you'll always feel alone and that you'll never belong. It tells you that you're dirty and that you should be ashamed. Fear tells you that you're the one that grace can't even change. People fear failure, rejection, going broke, getting cancer, getting older, and many other things. At this time, though, fear is running rampant in our world, and we need to be the ones to step up and say Jesus is in control. Did you know that according to most studies, people's number one fear is public speaking, and number two is death? So one comedian said it this way: at a funeral, people are more comfortable with the thought of being in the casket than the one giving the eulogy. I don't know about that, but you fill in the blank of what fear has been telling you. Fear will take away your breath. It'll stop you in your tracks. It'll rob you from peace and rest. And most of all, it will steal your happiness and joy. And that's exactly what's been happening today. Fear has stolen from our world, and it's making people act crazy. So what is fear? One definition of fear is this: fear is a feeling induced by perceived danger or threat that occurs in certain types of organisms, which cause a change in metabolic and organ functions, and ultimately a change in behavior, such as fleeing, hiding, or freezing from perceived past traumatic events. Fear, it accelerates our breathing, causes our heart rate to rise, constricts our blood vessels, increases muscle tension, interrupts our sleeping patterns, and increases blood glucose. So on a side note, think about that, ladies. Some of us have been on a weight loss journey or a health journey and can't seem to make headway. It doesn't matter how many carbs we cut, how many fruits and vegetables we try to eat. If we're constantly fearful in our life, science tells me that our blood glucose will be raised, which causes your body to hold on to fat. Think about that. All of these physiological changes helps our body decide if we are to run away or if we should fight the danger. So we have two choices when it comes to fear. We can either run away or we can fight the danger. Fear can be a very real thing. We teach children to fear a hot stove and an electrical outlet because those are dangerous things. But that's not what I'm speaking of today. It's an unnatural fear that lies to us. Fear is a liar. And where do you think it comes from? You got that right. It comes from Satan, the father of lies. The enemy knows that if he can cripple us with fear, that all progress in our spiritual life will be stopped because fear stops progress. I'm going to say that one more time for you, ladies. Fear stops progress. In our scripture reading, Jesus called Peter out onto the water just as he had asked. He started out all right, but then he saw that the wind was boisterous, and so fear struck him and he started to sink. All progress stopped the moment that fear came in. He froze. It's funny how fear can create spiritual amnesia in us. Peter had seen Jesus do miracle after miracle, and yet he didn't have enough faith to believe that Jesus could help him walk on the water when he saw the circumstances around him. Isn't that what we do sometimes? We say, God, use me. I want to see miracles, signs, and wonders. But someone has to be sick to get well. We have to go through some tough times to see that God can bring us through it. Our marriages maybe have to go through the fire a little bit so that all of those things that aren't supposed to be there can be burned away, and God can take something that wasn't great and turn it into the most beautiful relationship. We have to be ridiculed or lied about so that God can prove our character. We have to be hurt by friends that we thought cared about us so that God can bring about the truth. Oh yes, we've all been through some of these hurtful experiences. You say, that's nothing. I've been through hell and back. I believe you, sister, but you didn't go through it alone. Jesus was right there with you, just like he was with Peter that day on the water. But the moment we start going through something we don't like and we don't understand, we get spiritual amnesia. We forget all about the things Jesus has brought us through. That financial miracle, when your baby was sick and the doctor said there was no hope. That restored relationship. When fear starts to knock at our door, there's a choice that we have to make. Am I going to let fear in? If I choose to let fear creep into my heart, is when I'll start to sink, just like Peter did. I'm going to be transparent with you ladies here today. When I start to get into a situation that I don't like, I tend to try to hide from it. If I don't confront it, maybe it'll go away. If I ignore it, maybe it's not a reality. My experience, though, has taught me no matter how much I wish it would go away, I've got to woman up and confront those tough problems and be the fearless lady that God has called me to be and fight through whatever it is, no matter how bad it may be. One time, Anthony was out of town, and so it was just Peyton and I, and of course, Foxy, our trusty protector. We can't forget about her. Never mind that she let someone break into our house a few years ago and steal many of our belongings and sentimental items. We have forgiven her for that, and I'm sure that her instincts told her flee instead of fight. But she can bark like nobody's business if the neighbors have friends over. Anyway, so it was just Peyton and I home alone. And I was at the stove cooking dinner, and Peyton was sitting in the chair on his iPad playing NBA 2K when we heard a strange noise on the basement steps. It sounded exactly like someone was on the stairs running down them. Peyton quickly came into the kitchen and asked me if I had heard it, and I said I did. I said, don't worry, buddy. Maybe a shoe fell down the stairs, as it sometimes does, because our back door is right there, and that's where we take off our shoes. So I turned on the light, and I looked down the stairs, and there was no shoe. So we didn't know what it was, and at that point, I was a little bit scared. And to my surprise, Peyton yells out, "Hello, is there anybody down there? If someone's down there, you better come out right now. Show yourself with your hands up where I can see them. I'm about to call the police on you." I didn't know if I should laugh or be proud, but all I could think was, no, if someone's down there, do not show yourself. Stay hidden in your place until Anthony gets home. This time, I chose to be fearful and scared, but my son taught me something. He chose to bring the problem out into the open and fight because he had a better chance of fighting the problem than hiding from it. Later, when I went down to do some laundry, I discovered that his basketball had rolled down the stairs, and we both had a good laugh. But what Peter was going through was very real. There was wind and there was waves. But if we remember what fear really is, it's a feeling induced by perceived danger or threat that changes the way our body functions and ultimately results in a change in behavior that causes us to flee, hide, or freeze up from perceived past traumatic events. So fear is a perceived danger from past events. Sometimes it's not even real stuff. Let's think about why Peter could have been fearful. He was a fisherman, right? Do you think he had ever been in a boat with the wind and the waves raging before? I'm sure he had seen boats ripped to shreds by the wind and the waves. Past traumatic events caused him to perceive danger that made him fearful. A couple of years ago, Peyton and I were in a car accident. We were on our way to his basketball practice. I had my mom on speakerphone talking to her when all of a sudden I heard Peyton scream. I thought maybe there was a spider in the back seat or something like that. But before I could get anything out of my mouth, I felt our car being pushed. For some reason, the semi next to me veered over into my lane. His front tire made contact with Peyton's door. Peyton said he saw it coming, which is why he screamed. After he made impact with our car, he swerved back over and my car started spinning several times until it hit the sidewall, bounced off, and it spun one more time. The accident was in a very busy area around 6 p.m. All I could think was that we were going to get hit several more times by cars coming up over the hill that was there. But somehow there were no other cars. When the car finally stopped, I said, "Peyton, are you okay?" Not wanting to look, he said, "Mom, I'm fine." I cannot tell you the terror of hearing your child scream and not being able to look at him for what felt like an eternity, but I knew it was just seconds. He was all right, and that was my focus. Then I heard my mom, who was still on speakerphone and had heard it all, including both of us screaming. I can't imagine the fear she must have felt. I quickly picked up the phone and told her we had been in an accident, but we were okay. I wanted to get us out of the car before another car did come along and hit us. Thankfully, a nice lady that had been behind us saw the entire thing, stopped to see if we were okay. The semi-driver took off. We had no plate number and no good description of the semi. My car was totaled, but we were both okay. I tell you this story, though, to tell you my struggle with a fear of driving near semis. A couple weeks later, after the accident, was Illinois Youth Convention. Anthony and Peyton had already left to start getting things ready, and I had left after work that day. I got on the highway to start my trek to Springfield, which was my first time on a highway since the accident. I couldn't have realized the complete involuntary reaction that my body had when I got anywhere near a semi. Sweaty, entire body tensed up, my eyes would start to close, which is probably not a good thing to do when you're driving. I was completely taken back. Where was this coming from? I was perceiving danger from a previous traumatic experience. I could have decided right then and there that there's no way I could drive on the highway anymore. But it was too important to me. I had a job to do, and I needed to get to Springfield in order to do it. Instead of fleeing from the fear that I had, I needed to stand up and fight it. We travel way too much for me not to be able to drive. The fears that we don't face become our limits. I don't know about you, but I don't want to put a limit on what God can do in my life. I want to be the fearless woman that he has called me to be. God gives each of us a mission and a vision for what he wants us to do with our lives. Imagine being fully aware of that, but you are held hostage to fear. Who will fulfill that mission? So how do we get through our fears? How do we stand up and fight instead of fleeing from them? First of all, take comfort in the fact that you are not alone. We all have fears, and God's people have struggled with fear throughout the ages. All through the scriptures, we hear God tell his people, do not fear, in the face of great oppositions and circumstances beyond their control. In fact, we know that God doesn't want us to live our lives in fear. There are 365 times in the Bible that tells us, fear not. One promise for every day of the year. If Peter had kept his eyes on Jesus and not looked at the circumstances all around him, he would have been okay. It's in the moments that we take our eyes off of Jesus that we start to let fear creep into our hearts. As soon as Peter called out to Jesus, he was right there to save him. Who is Jesus in your life? Do you give him authority over every single part of your life? Or do you hold back little bits and pieces? We need to be walking with him every single day. I know this sounds basic, but we need to be in the Word and praying every day. That's how you become a fearless woman. Don't wait for fear to creep in and then run to Jesus. He will answer and he will save you just like he did for Peter. But why wait? Have a conversation with him all day long, just like you do your best friend. Peter didn't run away after that. He stayed with Jesus and listened to more of his teaching and learned who he truly was and what he could do. We need that daily relationship to get to know Jesus. That's how we build our faith and become fearless ladies. Peter tells us in 1 Peter 5-7, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. It's true, and Peter knew it from experience. We can call on Jesus for help and learn that he answers our cries. Maybe not always in the way that we would want, but his ways are not our ways. How's your prayer life? Is it your steering wheel or your spare tire? It's our choice to allow fear to make us victims or to draw closer to Jesus. No matter the circumstances around you, ladies, let's look to Jesus. Let's choose to say, it is well with my soul. True courage is displayed when you're afraid to do something, but you go ahead and do it anyway. I know that we are living in a very scary and uncertain times. It's hard not to be able to go to church, not to be able to see family, not to be able to go into a store without a mask. I mean, who would have thought? I know that, but we cannot allow fear to overtake us. We cannot allow the enemy to gain ground in our lives because of this. I want to close today by reading 10 scriptures to you that can help you overcome fear. I gave these out a few years ago at the ladies' conference on a bookmark, and when we're done, I'll post them all in the comments. And then we're going to pray at the end, and then we'll be done. I know it's been about an hour now since we've been on here, but I have truly enjoyed this with you ladies. I enjoyed all the first part of talking about our favorite things. That was so fun. And so I'm going to read these scriptures with you and then pray for you, and we'll be done for today. So if you want to live as a fearless witness, 2 Timothy 4:17. But the Lord stood with me and strengthened me so that the message might be preached fully through me. Live fearless because you are surrounded by God. Psalm 125, 1 through 2. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but abides forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forever. Fight the good fight of faith fearlessly. 1 Timothy 6, 11 through 12. But you, O man of God, flee these things and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, gentleness. Fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life to which you were called and have confessed the good confession in the presence of many witnesses. Live fearlessly, guided by the Spirit. John 16, 13 through 14. However, when he, the Spirit of truth, has come, he will guide you into all truth, for he will not speak on his own authority, but whatever he hears, he will speak, and he will tell you things to come. He will glorify me, and he will take of what is mine and declare it to you. Live fearlessly, called by God. Isaiah 45, 3. I will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden wealth of secret places, so that you may know that it is I, the Lord, the God of Israel, who calls you by your name. Live fearlessly, finishing the work of Christ. Philippians 1, 6. For I am confident of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will perfect it until the day of Christ Jesus. Psalm 42. Fearlessly walk along the path God has established. He also brought me out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, established my steps. Live fearlessly, trusting God as your rock. Isaiah 44, 8. Do not fear, nor be afraid. Have I not told you from that time and declared it? You are my witness. Is there a God besides me? Indeed, there is not other rock. I know, not one. Live fearlessly under the provision of God. Psalm 91, 4 through 5. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day. Be strong. 1 Corinthians 16, 13 through 14. Watch, stand fast in the faith. Be brave, be strong. Let all that you do be done with love. Amen. And I will post all of these scriptures so that you can have them for yourself. But be brave, ladies. Be strong. Let's live a fearless life. No matter what we're going through, we are called to be fearless ladies. So let's pray together, and we'll say goodbye for today. Jesus' name, God, I pray for all of the ladies that are watching today, God. I pray, Lord, that they have been encouraged, Jesus, by this time of fellowship, Lord, and God, that they have been encouraged by your word. God, I pray that you would go with each of them, God, and as they go through their day, Jesus, that you would help them to become fearless ladies, Jesus. God, that you would help each of us, Lord, to stand up, Lord, and to be fearless, Jesus. God, I pray that you would send people our way, Lord, that need you, Jesus, that we could be a witness to them, God. We love you, Jesus, and we thank you for this time together. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. I have so enjoyed this, and I hope that it's been an encouragement to you. It was an encouragement to me. I just enjoyed all of this time with you. So I love you, ladies. I miss you, and I hope to do this again soon. Bye-bye.